When we read with the priestess, we know that she's asking us to be self-reflective, to take some time to pause, think about things. But it's a kind of thinking that uses our intuition, not our rational mind. So you have to learn to trust your intuition, and that's one of the big messages of this card. It's one of the challenges of this card. If we look at the imagery, you can see in the front part of the card, you can see that there's fruit there, there's a pine cone, there's some flowers, and there are some platonic solids to all represent our universe. What's made here, what's solid here. And you can see that all of these things are in the foreground in front of a netting, which is, of course, the priestess's veil. It's the same veil that you see in the Rider-Waite-Smith High Priestess, but in that tarot deck, the veil is behind her. Here, it's in front of her, and she can lift it for us if we have faith. And the trick here is not to have faith in her, but to have faith in ourselves, have faith in our own intuition. And we know this when we look at the veil a little bit more closely and what it actually does. What does it obscure? It obscures objective truth. And objective truth is basically what is really true. What we can see down here easily and naturally is subjective truth. That's what we see around us every day, and we think these things are real because we've been conditioned. We have a veil over our mind, a veil over our eyes that makes us think that what we see here is real, the physical world is real, and that's all there is. And the things that we're striving for down here are the most important things. But if you think about objective truth, that's what's behind it. And as an example, if you think about the color teal, teal is a green-blue, and some of you might look at it and say, well, that's blue. I might say, well, it's green. And those things are both true subjectively. My subjective truth is that it's green, and yours is that it's blue. But out there somewhere, there is an objective truth about what that color is. It might be something that we can't even see because we have human eyes that work down here and look at certain wavelengths of color. But somewhere else, there are a lot more, I'm sure. So that's just an example of the difference between objective and subjective truth. And what you want to do when you draw the High Priestess is try to lift that veil and look at objective truth. What's behind what's going on? And you have to use your intuition to do it. There's no use in trying to work things through, no use in making a list of pros and cons. This is all about your gut instinct and learning to trust it. And you can trust the High Priestess to get you across the abyss. On the Tree of Life, she connects Keter at the top to Tifereth in the middle. And Tifereth is the beginning of your journey into our world, into Malkuth. And what gets you across the abyss is the camel that you see in the bottom of the card, the camel that is the representation of the Hebrew letter Gimel. Camels, of course, could get you across the desert because they have everything they need with them. They bring water with them. And so do we. We have everything that we need to get across the abyss, to get in touch with our divine will, to get in touch with our divine selves, to get in touch with our Creator, with divinity itself. We have everything that we need in order to do that. But you have to have faith, and that can be the real challenge. But that's what the High Priestess is asking you to do. So what do you see in the card that intrigues you? What other symbolism jumps out at you? Let us know in the comments.